May 22. 334 B.C. Battle of the Granicus, in Bithynia, in which Alexander of Macedon defeated the Persians. 337. Constantine the Great, Emperor of Rome, died. He was an able general and a sagacious politician, celebrated as the builder of Constantinople on the site of Byzantium, and as the first emperor who embraced Christianity. 1424. James I of Scotland, crowned 18 years after his accession, since which he had been in captivity. 1498. Vasco da Gama landed at Calicut, the first Indian port visited by a European vessel. 1542. Paul III summoned the Council of Trent, but was compelled to prorogue it, his own ecclesiastics only attending. 1555. John Peter Carafa elected Pope, and assumed the title of Paul IV. 1604. The first settlement made on the coast of Guyana, by Captain Charles and Sir Oliver Lee. 1611. James I instituted the Order of Baronets, and elevated 75 families to that dignity. 1659. Richard Cromwell's Parliament dissolved by commission under the Great Seal, at the instance of Desborough. 1661. The Solemn League and Covenants burned by the common hangman at London, and afterwards throughout the country. 1667. Alexander VII Fabio Chigi, Pope, died, characterized as little in great things, and great in little ones. Embellished Rome with some splendid edifices. 1680. A vast luminous meteor appeared at Leipzig. 1688. John Andrew Quenstead died, a German divine, author of a Latin account of learned men down to 1600. 1690. Naval action at Cherbourg. British Admiral Ashby destroyed 3 French ships of the line and several frigates, being part of Tourville's squadron. 1692. Action off La Hogue commenced the night previous, between the combined English and Dutch fleets, Admiral Russell, and the French fleet, which lost 16 sail. 1707. Battle of Stolhofen, on the Rhine. French under Villars forced the lines of the Allies. 1722. Sebastian Vaillant, a French botanist, died. He was originally organist to a convent. 1725. Robert Molesworth, an able English statesman, died. He rendered himself obnoxious to the clergy by insinuating that religion is a pious craft, a useful state engine, but far inferior to the principles which in the school of Athens and Rome incited their attentive youth to the love of their country, and to the practice of the moral virtues. 1734. Koyuli Khan defeated the Turkish army in Persia. 1745. Battle Jagernsdorf. Prussians defeated the Imperialists. 1773. John Entick, an English clergyman and schoolmaster, died, author of the Spelling Dictionary, and other works. 1775. Meeting of Provincial Congress at New York. 1780. Sir John Johnson, with a party of British and Tories, burnt a mill and 33 houses at Johnson Hall, killed about a dozen persons, destroyed all the sheep and cattle, and having dug up his silver plate decamped. 1781. John Baptist Beccaria, a learned Italian monk, died. 1782. Formosa, a large island in the Chinese Sea, almost wholly inundated by volcanic agency, during a storm. 1794. Battle of Espers. French defeated by the British, who took 500 prisoners and 700 cannon. 1795. Mungo Park sailed from England on his first expedition to Africa, for the purpose of tracing the course of the Niger, and procuring information relative to the city of Timbuktu, of which little more than the name was known. 1798. Bonaparte and the French fleet sailed from Toulon. At the same time Lord Nelson's fleet was in a storm in the Gulf of Lions, not many leagues distant. 1809. Second Battle of Essling. French recrossed the Danube. 1810. Charlotte Genevieve Louisa Augusta Andrea Timothy du Beaumont d'Eon, a French diplomatist, died, aged 82. Memorable as a politician, but more so for having been discovered to be a female while on an embassy to England, in the year 1777. 1812. Action off the coast of France, between two British ships and two French 44-gun frigates, and a brig of 18 guns. The latter were destroyed. 1813. Battle of Reichenbach. 1,500 French cavalry charged and overthrew the Allied cavalry. But many divisions coming to their aid, the French were reinforced by 14,000 horse and cuirassiers and the Allies compelled to retreat. 1813. Michael Durac, a distinguished French general, killed by a cannonball, which struck him as he stood conversing with Mortier and Kirchner, the latter of whom was also killed instantly. 1813. United States frigate Congress, Captain Smith, captured the British brig Diana 10 guns. 1814. Joseph White, an eminent English divine, and Oriental scholar, died. He was a weaver in humble life till his self-acquired attainments attracted patronage. 1819. The steamship Savannah, started from Savannah, Georgia, for Liverpool, being the first passage of the Atlantic attempted by steam, on the 22 June, having consumed her fuel in 10 days. She visited Stockholm and St. Petersburg before her return, which was in December following. 1819. Hugh Williamson, an American physician, scholar and statesman, died, aged 83. He assisted in framing the federal Constitution, and made himself useful to his country in various ways. 1854. Railroad inaugurated in Sardinia, running between Turin and Susa. The king and queen, the government officials, and a great concourse of people participating. 1855. The Convent Suppression Bill passed the Sardinian Senate. 1856. Preston S. Brooks, a South Carolina member of Congress, wickedly and cowardly assaulted Charles Sumner, senator from Massachusetts, while seated at his desk in the Senate chamber, and felled him to the floor with a cane, in retaliation for abusive language in debate.